I have been around in this world a long time, Demeter. And I've seen and come to know many great things. One of which being that long ago, life for living kind was treacherous, to the point that life and suffering were indistinguishable. An endless grind for survival. An endless grind to fulfill one's basic necessities. A struggle for survival. Constant violence at all sides from vicious and hungry predators. Strict adherence to social norms in order to maintain obedience in life or death situations. Scarce food. Scarcities of food and fresh water. Scarcities of food and water. And what water there was poisoned and diseased. And what water there was poisoned and fraught with disease and maladies. And what water there was often poisoned. And what water there was often fraught with diseases and poisons. Life was a truly hell on earth. And that is what life was for the living, for the most. And this is what life was from the beginning for most living things upon the earth. The principles of the living operate by the principles of heterogena, that you must have consistent access in order to have. Because the living did not have access to pleasures in a comfortable life before, to introduce the pleasures such as great as methamphetamine can provide, comes to a destructive effect that all abhor and attempt to avoid at all costs. Crack addiction seeks to run around attempting to force him. Crack addiction seems to quickly have taken to the barbaric solution of attempting to cram himself down everyone's throat upon the terra firma during your... Crack addiction has so quickly resorted to the barbarism of attempting to cram himself down the throat of everyone upon the terra firma during your mass extinction under your employ. But I seek a more civilized approach. I would prefer to be invited. But the only way that can happen is if the meaningless fabric of the mortal world, consisting mainly of inanimate objects that cannot consistently maintain the structures required for a good and pleasurable life, were amended in the past so that now mortal beings had not been denied access, and introducing the pleasure now is not so great that introducing the pleasure now is not so great thus the disparate, and so that introducing great and stupefying, spine-tingling, heart-stopping pleasure would not be of a great disparity to the present and result in total catastrophe. But the only way to do that is to take control of the fabric of existence itself. Which is why I need to overthrow Zeus. Which is why I, methamphetamine, seek to overthrow Zeus and take his place as ruler of the omnicosmos. And my first step to doing that is to seek you to reorder my structure. Is to seek you, the goddess of plant matter, to reorder my structure. So this way, to reorder my structure so that this way I will be able to consistently... My first step, and an ancillary step to doing that, and an ancillary step to doing that would be to seek your power to rearrange my particles so that they will be... and an ancillary step to doing that would be to seek your power over plant matter, to make it so that my particles will... And an ancillary step in doing that is to... And an ancillary step to doing that is to seek your power over plant materials, to make it so that the inanimate objects of my being are no longer inanimate, and will consistently move in a way that defy the current natural, meaningless order, and will be able to generate good outcomes more consistently. If you grant me this now, I can defeat Zeus If you grant me this now, no one will be able to stop me, not even Zeus himself! And then I will take... If you grant me this... Once granted this, no one will be able to stop me, and even... Once granted this, no one will be able to stop me, not even Zeus himself, and then I will take his place as ruler of the omnicosmos, and I will bring pleasure to all the omniverse. So what do you say? Will you comply? Then